Plaintiff Kenya Kemp says after she started dating the defendant, he confessed that he was a hustler who sold drugs for a living. Kenya's suing her ex-boyfriend today for an unpaid loan. Defendant Adrian Wright Jr. insists he and Kenya were never in a committed relationship, and they were nothing more than friends with benefits. Adrian's countersuing for harassment.
All right, start with you.
I first met Adrian back in October 2010. We were driving downtown and we stopped at a stoplight and I saw that he was looking at me. So I looked over and I just kind of gave him the eye. So we both pulled over. We got out of the car, we exchanged numbers, we started talking from then. I found out what kind of person he was. So he was kind of a laid back type person. He liked to smoke. I know that he liked...
Smoke weed?
Yes. Mm-hmm. He had a job, but he told me that he also liked to hustle on the side for extra money. He told me he had kids and he needed to provide for them for, things that they need.
What type of hustle?
He liked to sell drugs.
He likes to?
Yeah.
He enjoys it. He told you he enjoyed it?
That's what he likes to do. I mean, he told me that he's been in and out of jail his whole life for.
He told you he enjoyed. Oh, okay. Well, that's what he don't enjoy selling drugs. He enjoy
going to jail,
going to prison.
Hey.
Just kidding with you. I'm sure that's not the case. You don't enjoy going to prison, man.
Not at all, sir.
All right. And you don't enjoy being involved in criminal activity, I hope, right?
Correct.
Correct as in no, you don't, right? Enjoy going to prison, man.
Not at all, sir.
All right. And you don't enjoy being involved in criminal activity, I hope, right?
Correct.
Correct as in no, you don't, right?
Plaintiff Kenya Kemp insists she dated the defendant, but he claims they were never in a committed relationship and were nothing more than friends with benefits.
Go ahead.
I definitely felt like I could try to get him on the right path. I told him, I'm a nursing student. I can't be involved with people like that, especially when I become a nurse.
Did that work?
No.
He still didn't change?
It didn't change. He told me,
That didn't change you, sir?
Well, her trying to help you?
Yeah, having a disciplined young lady who wants you to do right and wants you to focus on something productive.
To be honest with you, sir, if I ain't want to do it, then that's on me, regardless of who trying to tell me to do what and where.
I remember when I was going through my transformation in college, I was still a little on the wild, but it was my girlfriend, now my wife, who influenced me.
Right.
Because she was studious. She was had a good background. And I try to have my sons date ladies who are like that. I hope you like that. You studious?
Yeah.
All right. You take care of your business? All right. Well, I hope you're making Amir do that. Well, I hope you're influencing him to do that. All right. My son's girlfriend is here, so that's why I was trying to make sure she's doing that.
Right.
Because it usually works, sir. You didn't want her enough to try and...
No.
Oh, that was the problem. You weren't ready to settle down.
Right.
All right. What have you been doing since you met her? What was that like?
We first started, it was more so the phone conversation after we met. Phone conversation, maybe a few weeks. Then in the month of January, we decided to start going out, hanging out with friends, family, going out, kicking it for a while. We decided to take it a little farther. So this is when I felt when the problems started coming in. So we take it a little bit farther, friends with benefits. The beneficiary time ran out, you feel me? So on Thursday, that's when everything shook.
Who was the beneficiary?
She was. She was.
Go ahead.
So we never made no communication throughout the whole weekend. On Monday morning, she showed up at my job. So it's like, okay, I turn and look at my coworker like, okay, you see she pulling up here because he knows her too. So you see she pulling up, it's like, dang, I ain't called her.
This doesn't have anything to do with money. What you're referring to is not regarding the loan. She's just coming to your job because she wants some more benefits. Is that why she's coming?
I'm assuming so. I'm assuming so.
All right.
So when she come up to my job, she come in there, I come back over to her. She hit me with the, we need to talk. Gave her the sour face look, looked at my coworker, looked back at her like, all right, come on, let's go talk. We go sit out in the car, sit there for a second. We had a little moment of silence, I guess, for her to regather our words and all that together. So then she come out like, I haven't slept or eaten and something else in the past 3 days. And I kind of just looked at her like, Okay.
How
all right.
long had you all been together?
We never really was together.
many-
We started going out in January. So I'll say from January until that point right there.
What point was that? What month?
February, middle of February.
1 month later, she couldn't sleep or eat.
That's what was told to me.
You want to address that? Did that happen?
I mean, that happened, but it had nothing to do. First of all, that was
What'd
way
you go
before
to
the
the man's
money.
job for?
Because that's the kind of relationship that we had. Like he
To
would
go
tell
to
me,
each other's job and
no, he wanted me
beg.
to come to his job because he doesn't have a place to live. He doesn't have anything. So if I want to talk to him, either I'm
Well,
going to
one
talk to him
good
on the
thing
phone.
is he says he worked. And
Yeah.
you admit that he was working as well.
Yes.
And I'm glad to hear that because there's a misconception about a lot of young adults, particularly men in the street. They think that these men want to be in the street and they want to sell drugs. But every young man that I have met that had an opportunity to do something else, they did something else. And they stopped selling on the side.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You got my point, right?
Yes, sir.
I'm glad to hear, though, that you at least are employed because she says you borrowed money from her at some point, and was he working then?
Yes, he was.
All right, and what was the agreement regarding the money?
It was his son's birthday was coming up. So it had put like a strain on our relationship because he felt like he didn't have enough money. So he was always in the streets. So he thought like he knew that I had money, which I had said that I had money. He asked me if he could borrow $700. And I was like, that's a little bit much. So he went down to $350.
So I'll say from January until that point right there.
What point was that? What month?
February, middle of February.
1 month later, she couldn't sleep or eat.
Plaintiff Kenya Kemp insists she dated the defendant, but he claims they were never in a committed relationship and were nothing more than friends with benefits.
Go ahead.
But I gave him the money on March 1st, $350. I gave him $350. He said he'd have the money to me by Saturday, which was the day of the party. And that didn't happen. So he said Sunday. I had said, I got some more to go. Can you at least give me some of it? And he was supposed to give me like $100 on Sunday, at least some of it.
Hadn't given you anything
He
yet?
didn't give me anything. So eventually, the contact stopped. So then I got frustrated after a couple of weeks and I went to talk to his mom. Then he called me after his mom talked to him. He said, I'll have it to you tomorrow. Well, tomorrow came. I didn't hear from him. So I'm like, what's going on with the money? Oh, I thought I have it, but I don't have it, whatever.
You
So
didn't challenge him about his hustling?
did I challenge him?
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
She said, I thought you were
definitely-
supposed to be a hustler.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I
She
challenged
said,
him.
you need to be off the streets.
Definitely. I
You
challenged
need to be in school.
I told him he was, small town hustling. You don't even have enough money you can't reproduce $350 in a month. I think something's wrong, So
That means he's trying to do the right thing, and I'm glad to hear that. Sir, do you owe her the $350?
To me, no.
Why not?
I say
Why
no.
not to you?
To me, I say no because she's saying that we agreed upon me giving the money back to her. So honestly, I did not actually ask her for the money, but I told her let me get the $700, just like she said at first. When I heard she said that's too steep, okay, well, let's see what's happening with $350. She clearly agreed to it. Everything was okay. We made a date to meet up, time or whatever. We did so.
When were you supposed to repay it?
She said by Saturday,
Okay, you just said it wasn't a loan.
but I wasn't agreeing to pay her back. She kept asking me, so when am I gonna be able to get it? When am I gonna be able to get it? So I'm like, to be honest, I tell her, like, I don't know really, but we'll shoot for this weekend. My intentions was not to do
What's
so.
your counterclaim for
counterclaim?
harassment other than her coming to the job? Because every other word you're saying is an admission that you agreed to pay the woman. So let's talk about what you're suing her. One, coming up to your job, that's part of the harassment?
Yeah, two.
What is the other?
Me going to the parents' house, phone calling them. 3 is on the Facebook. She chose to take pictures that I had on my phone for not by everybody else, but personal use only. She decided to take those and post them on Facebook. So besides putting that on Facebook, then she still typing, yeah, he ain't give my $350 back. He ain't doing this. He ain't doing that. Supposed to be working and hustling. He ain't doing nothing. So it's like, okay.
Ma'am, did you do all this?
I did. But
So
I don't feel like
afterward-
that's harassment.
Why isn't it?
Because that's me trying to get my money.
No.
I went to his mother. I talked to his mother about her giving me my money.
Collection companies don't go to people's parents.
But they talk to their friends and family. They do
We're
do
saying
that.
parents.
Okay.
You can't go to a person's parent to collect a debt that they owe you.
True, but I had a relationship. I already knew his parents. I had met his mother.
But you went to them to collect your money.
I went to them to talk to them. And I also,
about collecting your money.
Right, and said, can you talk to your son?
That was out of order. And going on the internet discussing you all's personal business, did you describe him as a criminal and a hustler?
I have the Facebook right here. I also have the email that I sent to his father.
I spoke with you on Sunday regarding your son, Adrian or Mathis. Since then, I have made no progress toward collecting any of my money. You're harassing his parents. It has been 4 weeks since I loaned him that money, and he keeps prolonging the situation. I am contacting you in hopes you would do something. Why would you put that pressure on his parents?
Because his parents have a more influence to help him.
This man is a grown man, and you bothering them with this nonsense. Talking about your son owed me. I didn't told you he owed me. I called you the other day and told you he owed me. I ain't heard nothing from you or your son since then.
Right.
That could upset some folks, ma'am, some parents. And these things you said, I can't half read them. Let me read this on the internet. To all friends and family, Adrian owes me $350. He borrowed from me a month ago. Please, everybody pitch in and give him some money. Because selling drugs ain't getting him nowhere. He cannot reproduce $350 in 4 weeks. Friends and family, please help him give me my money back.
All rise. This court is now in session.
If you're in Chicago and would like to attend a taping of the Judge Mathis Show, call us at 1-866-3-MATHIS. Plaintiff Kenya Kemp insists she dated the defendant, but he claims they were never in a committed relationship and were nothing more than friends with benefits.
So I'm going to grant him $150.
Okay.
Because you certainly harassed him by going to his parents. That's the primary thing.
Right.
I'll grant you your $350 for the loan. So you're left with $200. Good luck to you guys.